The unthinkable happened as Iowa soybean farmers took to the fields in September. Soybean prices strengthened throughout the harvest season. Defying conventional wisdom and the odds, market prices improved nearly $3 a bushel, backed by strong demand and tightening global stocks. Will the good times last, or are they just a flash in the pan? Chris Schaffer of Omaha-based AGP shares his take right after this.
Hope. It's a hard thing to hold on to in the face of adversity. But it's where you belong. Keep moving forward. Prove to the world you have what it takes. So the next time you feel defeated, don't forget. That grit, that determination, it got you here. Remember, you were made for this.
U.S. soybean exports are running significantly ahead of a year ago thanks to a growing appetite by the world's #1 buyer, China. The country ramped up its purchases of South American soybeans in early 2020, creating a domino effect of oilseed sales that eventually found their way to U.S. farms.
Brazil saw exports they've never seen before, and that led us into, our harvest time where Brazil pretty much ran out of soybeans. Even enough so that the U.S. is shipping beans down to Brazil right now to meet their domestic demand. And of course, that plays into our harvest and strong bean exports out of the United States.
As of December 3rd, U.S. soybean exports for the marketing year were running 72% ahead of a year ago. Nearly 1.1 billion bushels of U.S. soybeans had been exported compared to 641 million bushels in 2019. With Brazilian soybean supplies exhausted, attention is focused on Argentina, where farmers have been reluctant sellers.
The farmer in Argentina continues to hold, even though they're heading into their planting season, and they're about 30% planted now, but as they're planting, they're still holding their beans as a currency hedge. That's going to make our meal export strong, our domestic crushes strong and at decent margins. And we'll probably keep in that position until March or April.
Many attribute China's growing appetite for soybeans to a hog herd that's rebounding after being decimated by African swine fever. U.S. soybean sales to China totaled 1.1 billion bushels compared to 361.7 million bushels a year ago, an increase of 208%.
And with how many beans they're taking right now, it shows that demand is back up and the number of pigs are back up. I think they're back to levels close to 2015. So, you're looking at a Chinese government that's probably going to import somewhere between 95 and 105 million ton, which is going to make this thing real tight.
But China isn't the only game in town. New and emerging markets are buyers as consumer preference for protein intensifies.
One of the bigger ones that's going to be a change this year is a little increased shipments to Bangladesh. We've actually shipped a vessel out there already, and we're probably going to do another one here in the next month or so. So, generally, we're heavy in the Southeast Asia and the Philippines and Vietnam and Thailand, maybe down a little bit in Philippines and Thailand this year. We'll pick it up in Bangladesh. Got a little bit of meal going to Indonesia. Myanmar is a really good market for the United States in the container business.
Schaffer says soybean traders are creatures of habit, so price drives sales. But quality remains important, as does uniformity of product and timeliness of shipment, especially during a pandemic.
Getting product loaded, AGP does a lot through our Port of Grays Harbor, and we're really proud of what the port's put in place. They kind of had the initial breakout of the pandemic back in March in the state of Washington. And I give big kudos out to our ports for, leading like a work distancing program and keeping all of our people out there safe during this time. And that means a lot to our customers, knowing that when they order a boat to ship Nov 10, Nov 30, that it's going to get out Nov 10, Nov 30, and you're not going to see some of the issues that you do see in Argentina.